Have you ever wondered why? Even after reaching your goals, buying new things, or getting more followers, happiness still feels out of reach? In a world obsessed with success, productivity, and constant stimulation, it's easy to believe that happiness lies in the next achievement, the next purchase, or the next big moment. But what if the real secret to happiness has nothing to do with what you chase out there, and everything to do with how you live in here? This video is not about quick fixes or empty motivation. It's about timeless wisdom and proven science coming together to answer one of life's biggest questions. How can we truly be happy? For centuries, Stoic philosophers have taught that happiness is found in how we think, how we act, and how we respond to life, not in what we own or achieve. Today, modern psychology is proving that they were right. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover 13 practical principles, backed by Stoic philosophy and psychological research, that can transform the way you experience life. Simple shifts, small actions, real happiness. Let's begin. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that began in Greece over 2,000 years ago and was later embraced by Roman thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. At its core, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control what happens around us, but we can always control how we respond. It emphasizes inner peace, self-discipline, and living in harmony with nature and reason. For the Stoics, happiness wasn't about pleasure or success. It was about living with virtue, accepting what you cannot change, and focusing on what's truly within your control, your thoughts, your choices, and your actions. Now, fast forward to today. Modern psychology, especially positive psychology, has studied the science of well-being. Researchers have explored what makes people feel fulfilled, joyful, and resilient, not just for a moment, but in a lasting way. What they've found is powerful. Happiness doesn't come from money, status, or constant pleasure. It comes from things like gratitude, purpose, meaningful relationships, self-awareness, and a sense of control over your life. These aren't just theories. They're backed by decades of research and thousands of studies. What's surprising is how closely this modern science aligns with Stoic wisdom. Both Stoicism and positive psychology focus on the inner world. Both say that lasting happiness comes not from changing your circumstances, but from changing your mindset. They both encourage us to be present, to find meaning in adversity, and to live with intention rather than impulse. And most importantly, they agree on this. Happiness is a skill, something you can build through daily practice. In this video, we're going to explore 13 of those practices, simple, powerful habits that combine ancient philosophy and modern science to help you build a life of real happiness. Imagine a man walking through a desert, holding a map that promises to lead him to a hidden oasis, a place where he will finally find peace, joy, and rest. He walks for days, always chasing the next landmark, always believing that happiness is just one step further. But when he finally reaches the spot marked on the map, there's nothing there, just more sand. He looks up, tired and confused, and realizes something he had ignored all along. The water, the shade, the peace were not out there. They were inside the way he walked, the way he breathed, the way he noticed the present moment. Happiness is often sold as a destination, a goal to reach, a reward to earn. But the truth is, happiness is not something you find at the end of a journey. It's how you walk the path. It's not in the next job, the next relationship, or the next achievement. It's in how you wake up, how you respond to stress, how you treat others, how you treat yourself. You don't need to go anywhere else to live a better life. You only need to live this one with more awareness, intention, and care. Now, you're going to learn 13 simple practices that can transform the way you live and the way you feel. These aren't just ideas. They're actions you can take, attitudes you can build, habits that will help you experience more peace, more clarity, and more happiness. Right here, right now. Principle 1. Laugh more. Laughter is one of the most overlooked tools for happiness. In a world that often feels heavy, serious, and overwhelming, laughter reminds us to breathe, to release, and to return to the present moment. From a scientific perspective, laughter does more than lift your mood. It physically changes your body. It triggers the release of endorphins and serotonin, the brain's natural feel-good chemicals. It also reduces the levels of cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones that keep us in a constant state of tension. Even forced laughter, according to studies, can improve your mood and lower anxiety. The Stoics, known for their discipline and emotional strength, might not seem like advocates for laughter at first glance, but they deeply understood the power of perception. Epictetus once said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." Choosing to laugh, even when life gets hard, is one of the most powerful judgments you can make. It's a way of reclaiming your inner peace, no matter what's happening around you. How to apply it? Make laughter a daily practice. Watch something lighthearted. Spend time with someone who makes you laugh. Allow yourself to see the humor in your own habits and mistakes. You don't need a perfect moment to laugh. You just need to give yourself permission. A simple metaphor. Think of laughter as sunlight breaking through a cloudy sky. It doesn't make the storm disappear, but it reminds you that joy still exists, even in the middle of chaos. Principle 2. Connect with nature. Think about your daily routine. How much of it takes place indoors, surrounded by screens, artificial lighting, and endless noise? Our modern lives are disconnected from the natural world, and our mental and emotional health suffers because of it. Science confirms what ancient wisdom has always known: nature heals. Studies show that spending time in green spaces reduces anxiety, lowers blood pressure, improves focus, and even boosts creativity. A short walk in a park can do more for your mind than hours of scrolling on your phone. The Stoics believed in aligning ourselves with nature, not just the physical world, but the nature of life itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Nature teaches us patience, presence, and acceptance. It reminds us that we are part of something larger, something steady and alive. How to apply it? Start with small steps. Go outside for just 10 or 15 minutes a day. Walk without your phone. Sit on a bench. Listen to the wind. Feel the sun. Even a few minutes of natural stillness can shift your entire state of mind. You don't need a forest or a mountain, just a moment to be fully present in the world around you. A simple metaphor. Your mind is like a glass of muddy water. Nature is the stillness that lets the dirt settle, so clarity can rise to the surface. Principle 3. Wake up early. Mornings hold a quiet kind of power. Before the noise, before the demands, before the world wakes up, there is space. Space to breathe, to think, to set the tone for your day. Waking up early isn't just about productivity. It's about presence. Studies in psychology have shown that early risers tend to experience higher levels of optimism, better emotional regulation, and greater life satisfaction. That early light signals your brain to produce serotonin and aligns your body with its natural rhythm, improving sleep quality and mental clarity. The Stoics understood the value of rising with purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I am rising to do the work of a human being.'" In other words, your morning is not just a beginning, it's a decision to meet the day with intention, instead of being dragged into it by obligation. How to apply it? Start small. Wake up just 15 minutes earlier than usual. Use that time for something that centers you. Reading, walking, breathing, or simply sitting in silence. Mornings are your foundation. Build them with care. A simple metaphor. Think of the morning as the blank page of your day. You choose what gets written before the noise of the world takes over. Principle 4. Fill your days with intention. Time is your most valuable resource. Everyone has the same 24 hours, but how you use them shapes your entire experience of life. Without intention, days slip by unnoticed. With intention, every moment becomes meaningful. Psychology shows that people who plan their days with purpose report higher levels of happiness, lower levels of stress, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. It's not about being busy. It's about being deliberate. When your actions align with your values, you create momentum and clarity. The Stoics were deeply aware of the shortness of life. Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." They believed that time should be spent on things that matter: growth, reflection, contribution, and connection. How to apply it? Begin each day by asking yourself, what do I want this day to mean? Choose a few key activities that align with your purpose. Schedule breaks, leave room for rest, but let your day reflect what you value. Intention is not about control, it's about alignment. A simple metaphor: your day is like a garden. Without planning, weeds grow, but with care and attention, you cultivate something beautiful, one choice at a time. Principle 5. Don't quit on what you love. There comes a moment in every journey where things get hard. The progress slows. The excitement fades. Doubt creeps in, and you begin to wonder, is it worth it? Should I keep going? But what if that moment isn't a sign to stop, but a signal to dig deeper? Modern psychology tells us that people who pursue their passions with persistence experience more happiness, greater resilience, and a stronger sense of meaning in life. It's not about being perfect or always motivated. It's about staying committed to what matters, even when it gets tough. This is what researchers call grit, the ability to persevere with passion over time. Grit doesn't ignore obstacles, it moves through them. The Stoics understood this long before science gave it a name. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that things are difficult." In other words, what often stops us is not the challenge itself, but our fear of facing it. When you love something, whether it's a creative project, a meaningful goal, or a deeper calling, it will test you. But that's part of the process. That's how you grow. How to apply it? Reconnect with your reason. Remind yourself why you started. Don't judge your progress by results alone. Focus on consistency. Show up even when it's uncomfortable. Especially then, if you keep choosing what you love over and over again, the path becomes clearer and your strength becomes real. A simple metaphor. Imagine climbing a mountain. The higher you go, the thinner the air, the harder the climb. But the view from the top is only possible for those who keep walking. Principle 6. Practice kindness. In a world full of noise, speed, and distraction, kindness is a quiet kind of power. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't need to be seen, but its effects are profound. Psychological studies have shown that kindness, whether given or received, directly boosts our mental health. It reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and increases overall happiness. When we act kindly, our brains release oxytocin, which calms the nervous system and strengthens our sense of connection to others. But kindness is not just an emotional gesture. It's a choice, a habit, a way of seeing the world, and choosing compassion even when it's not easy. The Stoics believed that kindness was a sign of wisdom and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, wrote, "Kindness is invincible, so long as it is sincere." To be kind is not to be weak. It is to remain grounded in virtue, regardless of how others behave. How to apply it? Start with awareness. Notice the people around you. Offer a word of encouragement. Send a thoughtful message. Listen without interrupting. Smile without needing a reason. Kindness isn't about grand gestures. It's about being fully human in your everyday moments. And most of all, be kind to yourself. Many people find it easier to show compassion to others than to offer it inward. But true kindness starts within. A simple metaphor. Kindness is like lighting a candle. You lose nothing by sharing your flame. And in doing so, you bring light to the darkness, yours and someone else's. Principle 7. Say yes to life more often. How many moments have passed you by because you said no too quickly? No to the invitation. No to the opportunity. No to the unknown. Saying no can feel safe. It gives us control. It keeps us within the limits of what we know. But when we say no too often, we begin to shrink our world. We miss chances to grow, to connect, and to live more fully. Modern psychology shows that openness to experience is strongly linked to well-being. People who embrace new situations, even when they're uncertain or a little uncomfortable, tend to be more resilient, more optimistic, and more satisfied with their lives. Trying something new activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and reinforcing our natural curiosity. The Stoics weren't afraid of discomfort. They saw every challenge as a doorway to growth. Epictetus reminded his students that difficulties reveal character. What we avoid often hides the very lesson we need. Saying yes doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means saying yes to life, yes to growth, yes to stepping outside the routine, yes to the parts of you that are still waiting to be discovered. How to apply it? Start with the small yes. Say yes to the walk instead of another hour on the couch. Say yes to the conversation with someone new. Say yes to learning, even if you might fail. Life opens up when you do. With each yes, you become more alive, more present, more you. A simple metaphor. Life is like a book full of blank pages. Every time you say yes, you write a new chapter. Every time you say no without thinking, you leave that page empty. Principle 8. Turn off your phone sometimes. We are more connected than ever. Yet many people feel more distracted, more anxious, and more distant from themselves than ever before. Our phones are powerful tools, but they often dominate our time and attention. We check them out of habit, scroll without thinking, and lose hours in digital noise. And while it feels like we're plugged into the world, we're often disconnected from what matters most, the present moment. Psychologists have found that constant smartphone use is associated with higher levels of anxiety, reduced attention span, and disrupted sleep. The more we check our devices, the less focused and satisfied we become. The Stoics believed that attention is sacred. Seneca warned, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." When your mind is scattered across dozens of digital distractions, you lose the ability to be here, right now. Presence is a form of power. It allows you to connect more deeply with others, with your surroundings, and with yourself. And it starts with creating space for stillness. How to apply it? Begin by setting boundaries. Turn off your phone during meals. Leave it in another room when you're resting. Schedule daily time without screens, even if it's just 15 minutes. During that time, be still. Reflect. Notice your breath. Listen. These moments of quiet are where clarity is born. And perhaps most importantly, be present when you're with others. Put the phone away. Look people in the eye. Listen fully. It's in these undistracted moments that real connection grows. A simple metaphor. Your mind is like a clear lake. Every notification, every scroll, every buzz stirs the surface. But when you turn off your phone, the waters settle, and in the stillness, you can finally see yourself again. Principle 9. Take breaks and go on small trips. We live in a culture that glorifies being busy. Hustle is celebrated. Rest is often seen as weakness. But the truth is, without rest, even a most driven mind will eventually burn out. Taking breaks isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Modern psychology has proven that regular breaks increase productivity, boost creativity, and reduce mental fatigue. Even short pauses throughout the day can reset your focus and bring clarity. And when you give yourself time away, a walk in nature, a day off, or a short trip, you return with renewed energy and perspective. The Stoics, though known for their discipline, deeply understood the importance of restoration. Seneca often wrote about odium, a time for reflection, stillness, and peace. He believed that stepping back from the world was essential to understanding it. It was in moments of rest that the mind could truly grow. Breaks are not a waste of time. They are a way to reconnect with yourself, to pause the noise and listen to what's really going on inside. How to apply it? Start by creating moments of stillness during your day. Set boundaries around your work. Take 10 minutes to breathe, stretch, or simply step outside. Schedule intentional breaks, without screens, without pressure. And when you can, take a short trip. It doesn't have to be far. A change of environment can reset your mind in powerful ways. Whether it's a day in nature, a visit to a new town, or a quiet retreat, these moments allow you to return to your life with fresh eyes. A simple metaphor. Think of yourself like a tree. If a tree never stops growing outward, it will eventually weaken and break. But when it pauses to deepen its roots, it becomes stronger, ready for whatever storms may come. Principle 10. Value your friends and family. At the end of life, very few people wish they had worked more hours or earned more money. What they long for, what they regret losing, is time with the people they love. Human connection is one of the deepest sources of happiness. Studies from Harvard, spanning over 75 years, have shown that the quality of our relationships is the single greatest predictor of long-term well-being. Close relationships protect us from mental decline, reduce stress, and give life meaning. But in the fast pace of modern life, relationships often get pushed aside. We assume our loved ones will always be there. We postpone the phone call, delay the visit, and tell ourselves we'll reconnect when we have more time. But time once gone doesn't come back. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Men exist for the sake of one another." He believed that human beings are made to support, to serve, and to love. To live in alignment with nature means to live in community, to recognize that we are not islands, but part of something greater. How to apply it? Make space for the people who matter. Call a friend just to ask how they're doing. Sit with family without distraction. Say what needs to be said while there's still time to say it. Presence is more valuable than any gift you can give. And when you're with someone, be with them. Put down the phone. Look into their eyes. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. A simple metaphor. Relationships are like gardens. If you ignore them, they wither. But if you water them with time, presence, and care, they grow into something beautiful, something that nourishes you for years to come. Principle 11. Help others out. One of the fastest ways to lift yourself up is to lift someone else. Helping others isn't just a kind gesture. It's a source of deep fulfillment. Studies show that people who regularly engage in acts of kindness or service experience greater happiness, reduce stress, and even better physical health. When you help someone, your brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals linked to connection, peace, and purpose. But the benefits go beyond biology. Helping others gives meaning to your actions. It shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to how you can contribute. It reminds you that you're part of something larger than yourself. The Stoics believed that service to others was a core part of virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee." In other words, your well-being is connected to the well-being of those around you. How to apply it? Look for simple ways to offer support. Listen to someone who needs to be heard. Share your knowledge. Offer your time. You don't need to solve everything. Just show up with sincerity. Every small act creates a ripple that spreads farther than you can see. A simple metaphor. Helping others is like lighting a candle from your own flame. You lose nothing, but you multiply the light. Principle 12. Focus on the good stuff you've got. It's easy to focus on what's missing. The promotion you didn't get. The goals still unreached. The life you think you should have. But that mindset creates a constant feeling of lack, even when your life is full of blessings. Gratitude changes that. Psychology shows that people who practice gratitude consistently feel happier, sleep better, and cope with challenges more effectively. Gratitude shifts your attention from scarcity to abundance, from dissatisfaction to appreciation. The Stoics practiced this daily. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." They taught that true wealth is found in being content with what you already have. How to apply it? Begin a simple gratitude practice. Each day, name 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. A quiet morning, a friend's message, a warm meal. Gratitude rewires your mind to recognize joy, even in the ordinary. A simple metaphor. Gratitude is like adjusting the lens on a camera. The world doesn't change, but your focus does. And what you focus on becomes what you feel. Principle 13. Let go of grudges. Holding on to anger is like carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. You may grow used to the weight, but it slows you down, drains your energy, and keeps you tied to the past. Forgiveness is not about pretending that nothing happened. It's about refusing to let what happened control you any longer. Letting go is a gift you give to yourself. Science confirms that people who forgive experience lower anxiety, less depression, and stronger immune function. Forgiveness brings emotional freedom and even physical healing. The Stoics knew this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, don't let someone else's wrongs define your peace. Rise above them. How to apply it? Reflect on the grudges you're holding. Ask yourself, are they helping you grow or holding you back? Choose release, not for the other person, but for your own peace. You may not forget, but you can stop carrying the pain. A simple metaphor. Letting go of a grudge is like putting down a stone you've been gripping for too long. Your hand may be sore, but now it's free to hold something better. So let's take a moment to remember what we've uncovered. Happiness isn't a place you arrive at. It's a way you live each day. It's in the quiet strength of waking up early, in the lightness of laughter, in the peace you find in nature, in the intention behind how you plan your time, in the courage to keep going when things get hard, in the small, sincere acts of kindness, in saying yes to life, even when it's uncertain, in the freedom of turning off your phone and returning to presence, in the power of taking breaks and stepping away to reset, in the warmth of friends and family who make life meaningful, in the purpose you feel when you help someone else, in the shift that comes when you practice gratitude, and in the peace that grows when you let go of what no longer serves you. These are not just ideas. They are tools, a life kit for real, lasting happiness. Both Stoic wisdom and modern science agree. True happiness doesn't depend on what happens around you. It depends on what you choose to cultivate within you. As Seneca once wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence on the future. So why not begin today? If something in this video spoke to you, take a moment to reflect. Which principle resonated the most with where you are in life right now? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. And if you know someone who could use a little clarity, calm, or inspiration, share this video with them. You never know how one message can shift someone's entire path. If you want to keep exploring how timeless wisdom and modern science can help you live better, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's more coming. Lessons, reflections, and tools to help you build a life with purpose, peace, and strength. Thank you for watching. Stay present, stay grounded, and remember, happiness is not out there. It starts with how you live right here.